Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Today, as always, I have a general reading for you, and as always with a general reading, only take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, it is a timeless message. It can be past, present or future depending on where you're at on your journey. Spirit will always guide you to a message that you need to hear exactly when you need to hear it. And for the ease of channeling, I will use the pronouns he, she, but by all means swap them out for pronouns that fit for you if they don't. Okay, so this one might be a little bit heavy today. I'm hearing betrayal. I'm just hearing and seeing the word betrayal, and I'm hearing Taylor Swift's Bad Blood, specifically the lyrics. I've had to look them up to read them. Because baby, now we got bad blood. You know, it used to be mad love. So take a look at what you've done. Because baby, now we got bad blood. Now we got problems, and I don't think we can solve them. You made a really deep cut, and baby, we got bad blood. Did you have to do this? I was thinking that you could be trusted. Did you have to ruin what was shiny? Now it's all rusted. Did you have to hit me where I'm weak? Baby, I couldn't breathe and rub it in so deep. Salt in the wound like you're laughing right at me. Oh, it's so sad to think about the good times, you and I. And then it goes on to the chorus. And then it's, did you think we'd be fine? Still got scars on my back from your knife. So don't think it's in the past. These kind of wounds, they last and they last. Now, did you think it all through? All these things will catch up to you, and time can heal, but this won't. So if you're coming my way, just don't. And what I'm getting from that is, so it's pretty much the whole song, but what I'm picking up from that is that there was a betrayal. Somebody stabbed somebody in the back, and I'm getting two sides of that. On the side of the person that was stabbed in the back, who I feel is the collective, it's what they're saying through that song is everything was fine. Why did you have to do what you did? Because now you've stabbed me in the back. You caused this massive betrayal. There's no going back. Don't come towards me. I don't want to know. The cycle has closed. It's been too long. There's been no real apology. It feels like somebody tried to push something under the carpet, thinking, especially with that line of, did you think, what did I say it was, the scars would heal or something like that, wasn't it? Did you think we'd be fine? Still got scars on my back from your knife. So you may, like, you've healed from what they've done. You don't need the closure from them. You've already got closure. But the wounds are still there. Like, they're not fully healed. You're still healing, but they're closed. Like, they're not bleeding out anymore, because it feels like this person stabbed you in the back and then just sat back and watched you bleed, or they watched somebody else stab you in the back and still somebody watched you bleed out. Okay, not it's symbolic, not literal. Okay. It feels like somebody kicked you whilst you were down, and there's kind of two groups of people with that. Somebody was either the person kicking you whilst you were down and the other person stood back and watched, or they were the ones kicking you whilst you were down, okay, and just watching you bleed out. They just didn't care, okay. They felt like you'd betrayed them, you'd upset them, you'd hurt them in some way, so they decided to kind of throw you under the bus. And on the other side of that, they're now realising what they've done. And I'm not saying that you have to forgive them. I'm not saying you have to allow them back into your life. I do feel like they are regretting their actions massively. They're realising that they didn't have to go that way, that there was another path. But they are equally realising that it's too late now to make amends with you. They've left it too long. And as much as they're realising that they were the ones in the wrong, there doesn't feel like a genuine apology, which again is what is channeled through that song, through the lyrics. Further down it says about band-aids not fixing things, and empty apologies, basically. So this person is regretting what they've done, because they're realizing now that it's completely ended their relationship with you, their connection. And it doesn't have to be, because the song's called Bad Blood, it could be a family member, or somebody you class as family, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a friend, it could be family, it could be a co-worker, it could be a romantic partnership. Take it as it resonates. This is a general reading, and I'm not going to channel specifically the betrayal, what actually happened, what this person did, because it is a general reading. It's going to be different for everybody. So if you're resonating with this message, then the message is for you, and you will know what this person's done, because it was something that they did that caused you to walk away from them, which is ultimately what they didn't want. And they're now realizing that the separation is their fault. Okay, they are they spent too long saying they hadn't done anything wrong, trying to convince themselves that you were in the wrong, and not facing their shadow self, the part of them. Because sometimes we are in the wrong, and we have to, it's a really hard pill to swallow. And I do feel like this person, or this group of people that stabbed you in the back and betrayed you, are genuinely regretful for the actions they chose, realizing that they didn't have enough information, and that they should have just come to you and spoken to you, and things would have been different, could have been different. It's like they're going over the, like, oh, the what ifs, but they made the choices they did that caused you to walk away. Okay, and that's the message here. But they still don't feel, it's more a case of, I think they feel sorry for themselves rather than sorry for what they did to you, because they're realizing that they could have, that they're not benefiting now. Like, you, when someone does something and it doesn't make you feel good, they're that's the kind of energy, is that they're realizing that their actions towards you didn't make them feel good. It didn't make them feel any better, but they're not looking at necessarily, they're understanding that their actions pushed you away, and they are the reason for you walking away, but they're still looking at a from a them point of view, and not what it actually did to you. So they're not sorry for what they did to you. It's victim mentality of, oh, I made these choices, I did these actions, and now I'm losing out, because it may be that you're doing really well for yourself, you're thriving, you're abundant, and you're just happy on your own without this person, or you're doing better now you're not around them. And now I think that's what's made them, partly, that is what's partly made them realise that they're in the wrong, because they don't feel good, and you look genuinely happy and you're thriving. So let's get some more information about this situation. Phase entanglement, emotional influence. Right, I was picking this up, and I did say this in another reading that I've done, but the other reading I've done, I don't know if I'm going to put it out or not. I need to watch it back first. Somebody was in this person's ear. Somebody was playing on this person's emotions. Okay, there was a lot of gossip going on, a lot of things being said that were triggering this person. So basically, this person felt insecure when it came to you. Okay, they were upset and they felt betrayed, and instead of this person like looking at it from a higher perspective, they were just looking at what they could see. Okay, their third eye was blocked, and it's like, instead of telling this person the hard truths and actually, yeah, you might have done something wrong, this person was telling this, there was somebody around them that was feeding into, they wanted to cause a separation between you and this person. Okay, they were jealous and envious of your relationship with this person. So what they did was, anything where you were feeling insecure. They were trying to get in your ear about it, okay? They may also have been jealous and envious of if you're in a relationship, or if you had other friends. They were jealous in that they just wanted you for themselves. So they may have been trying to put things in your ear, put things in your head to, or in your partner's head, to split you and your partner up, or to split you and another friend up. Okay, but somebody was in their ear about trying to split you and them up, but they were also then in your ear trying to split you up and cause a separation between you and someone else. Okay, but there's a lot of gossiping going on, a lot of people throwing, like, when no one knows the truth, they're just giving their own opinions based on, like, there's a whole group of people here that were gossiping, and I'm hearing the word surmising, but I don't know if that's the right word that I want. Like, assuming they knew what was going on with you, the collective, instead of actually coming to you and finding out the truth. They were just like making up stories to fit their narrative. And there was somebody, like, just a whole group of people. There's a whole, just so much gossip. And I feel like it was just too much, and you just took yourself out of that equation. Like, people gossiping, slandering, saying this, that, lying about you, saying you were doing something, but actually what they were doing was exposed, saying you were doing it, but in doing that they were exposing what they were doing to you. And you just upped and went, no, I'm not being a part of this. You didn't make a fuss, you didn't say anything, you just quietly took yourself out of it. And I feel for a time this person or this group were gossiping and saying, oh, you're just controlling, you're trying to manipulate them into getting what you want from them, when actually that's what they were trying to do with you, that you were giving them the silent treatment, so that they would be bowing down to you, but they were equally giving you silent treatment and trying to isolate you, because they were coming from a place of control, and actually you were coming from a place of self-love and self-respect and going, do you know what, I don't need you, I don't need this negative energy. You're very much somebody who is very mindful about the energy that you're surrounding yourself with, because you're very consciously aware of taking on negative energy and taking on too much, and that's just not who you are at your core. But this group didn't see it that way, and there's something about somebody in someone's ear saying, don't worry, they'll come running back, let them. It's something about a honeymoon phase, so that might be relevant to somebody. When the honeymoon phase ends, and that could even be if you're single and you're going off on your own, and even with another friend, like if you're spending time with another friend, somebody might be like, oh, when the honeymoon phase of that relationship, and it can be yourself, it can be another person, it can be a relationship, whatever, but when you start something new, people will refer to, like, especially like the first year of being together or doing this thing, like there's a honeymoon phase, and it will fizzle out and they'll come running back because they get bored, right? Somebody was gossiping that that you would basically, once the honeymoon period ended, you'd go running back to them because you'd be bored, this, that, and the other. And now that honeymoon phase has, because I'm hearing like this is, like, for some of you, this is like 2 years plus. You haven't gone back, and now they're realizing that you weren't coming from a place of control, because they're seeing like you're glowing up, you're doing really well without them. They're realizing that actually they're the ones in the wrong, because you're the one who's doing really, really well and they're not. There's also something here about if you are in a relationship, and as well, going back to this honeymoon phase, you may have married somebody, you may have got married fairly recently within the last couple of years, and this group were all gossiping that your relationship with your person wouldn't last. and that you'd be getting divorced, and you've proven them wrong. Okay, and I'm now hearing Shania Twain, still the one. Looks like we made it. They said we wouldn't make it. Look how far we've come, my baby. That's what I'm hearing. Because there was gossip around you and your person. Something to do with your person being in love with their ex. And that you basically were just like the rebound, and rebounds never work out. That's the vibe I'm getting. But for a lot of you, this person's actually married you. Somebody wants to communicate with you, and you can feel this, and you're just like, absolutely not, I don't want to know. They may even have tried to communicate with you. This cycle, I'm seeing the world. When this came out, I saw the world card from the tarot deck, and that to me is signaling cycles ending. Okay, this cycle has fully ended and closed for you. We have travel, changing location. Yeah, you saw what they were doing. They're kind of upset with you, and they're confused about how you saw what they were doing. But you feel to me like you're somebody who knows when you're being set up. You might not know exactly what the setup is, but you catch a vibe and you are out of there. If it doesn't feel right, you are out of there. Spirit is like, let's go. And you go, you listen to that, you listen to your intuition, you take action, you take a conscious step forward, you take a conscious step away. You are at one with the divine. You could be a divine feminine, and that can be masculine or feminine, male or female, okay? We all carry that divine feminine energy. And the idea is to balance the masculine and feminine energies within all of us. Not just the divine feminines, not just the females, but the males too, or whatever your gender you use, okay? But you knew that they were gossiping and slandering you behind your back, and that they were plotting and planning against you. So you took action, you cut ties with them, and you walked away. They at first genuinely thought that you were being controlling and manipulative. They underestimated your intuition. They didn't realize at first that you knew what they were doing. They thought you were literally coming from a place. They thought you were a narcissist, okay? I'm just going to go out and say it. They thought they were gossiping behind your back, calling you a narcissist, and saying that you were using, because you cut contact with them, you stopped talking to them. That can be considered a narcissistic trait, okay? That's what narcissists do to pull you back in. That's what they thought you were doing, because that's who they were and what they were trying to do. They were trying to isolate you to pull you back in. They thought if they stopped speaking to you and gave you the cold shoulder, that you would chase them. And you don't play those kind of games, okay? You're not a narcissist. I'm not getting narcissistic energy from you. You literally just went, I see what you're doing. I'm not playing that game. I'm just going to quietly take myself over here. Because yes, you both took the same action to go cold and cut communication with each other, but you did it for very different reasons, and it's the intention that matters, okay? You cut cords, you went quiet, you took yourself off to do the healing from the betrayal that they had caused. They burnt the bridge, and you weren't rebuilding that bridge. They burnt. You're done rebuilding bridges that people have burnt with you, okay? You're just letting them burn. And that's what you did. You didn't walk away from a place of control and wanting this person to chase you. You didn't give a shit, quite frankly, because the betrayal cut so deep. It was like, I'm done. I'm done. You've crossed the line. I don't want to know. You didn't get angry at them. You didn't shout at them. You didn't scream. You didn't give them any reaction. You walked away silently. And they thought that some people were saying it was literally because they didn't know what was going on and why you were so quiet. They were making up stories. Some of them thought that you were like dying and they're shocked because you're not dead. Some of them thought that it was just like a honeymoon phase, that you do it in a new relationship, and that when the honeymoon phase ended, you wouldn't want to spend as much time with your person anymore. So you'd go running back to them because you just needed them. I tell you, the audacity. This person thought so highly of themselves and put them so high in your life, because they never dreamt that you'd actually walk away from them, because they didn't realise it's insulting, really. It quite frankly, I'm a little bit offended. It's insulting, but they didn't realise that they didn't. I've got so angry that I can't find the words now, but basically, they underestimated your ability, your intuition to see through them and what they were doing. They honestly didn't think that you would ever catch them out. They were so cocky. It's unbelievable. And it's so insulting. They may even have tried to gaslight you out of your intuition. Maybe they thought they'd successfully gaslit you out of your intuition and that they were going to be able to just brush things under the carpet or throw somebody else under the bus just to avoid accountability, okay? They're now realising they can't do that. And they should have given you more credit, okay? They're now realising that you were right about something as well. But what I'm seeing here is that they are questioning, achievement, completion, reward. They celebrated too soon. And they're now recognising, I'm actually going to leave this one out because it feels like the completion, well, it is completion, but it feels like the story. Yeah. They want to know how you came, you kind of like, it feels to me like you, in some way, you bypassed what they had planned for you. It didn't hit you like they thought it was going to hit you. You managed to, they can't work it out. There's a confusion around it. I can't quite work out something. There's something, I'm just feeling confused about over my words and that. And I'm like picking up from them that they're confused as to how you escaped. Because you were 10 steps ahead of them. That's what they don't know how you were 10 steps ahead of them. How did you know? Because you're intuitive, you're in tune with the divine, and nothing gets past you. Even if you don't say anything, even if you're not calling something out, you know. You know, because you're highly intuitive, you're in tune with the divine, and if the divine needs you to know something, they are going to reveal it to you. And they're also going to tell you whether you guide you, because you free will. If they tell you something and you want to act on it, even against what they advise, they're not going to judge you for that. Okay. But you put your trust and faith in the divine. You didn't act in a way that they thought you were going to. It's almost like this person wanted you to kick up a fuss, because in doing that, by getting angry, by attacking them, it made them feel relevant in your life, like you still cared. And you didn't do that, because it got to a point where you realised that whatever this was, the betrayal was so deep that you couldn't, even if you forgive them, that you cannot go back to the way things were with them. I want to say, even on some level, you can't move forward with them in your life, okay? Because they haven't done the work necessary to go with you into your next stage, okay? You're now getting, so they celebrated too soon, but what they're now seeing is like who you really are, how much you actually mean to them, and they are regretting it. But again, at the same time, I don't feel you're going to get an apology from this person. Not an outright apology. I still don't feel like they're taking accountability for their actions. at this time. That may change. They may do that in the future, and then it's up to you whether you decide to allow this person back into your life. I genuinely don't feel you will, because what I'm feeling here is it's gone on too long. It went too far, and I genuinely don't know if there's any way back for them. This feels like a complete cycle. Like there's nothing. Like, it's not that you don't care, because that's not who you are, but you're kind of numb to this person now, because when betrayal may be one of your major core wounds, and this person knows that there's something, and they used it against you, because what they were trying to do was, the phrase hurt people doesn't apply to everyone, because there are people out there, like I feel like you are, that when someone hurts you, you don't want to go out of your way to hurt other people. You don't want people to feel the way you do. But there are people out there that do get hurt and will attack others because they want to cause that person pain. I think they're realising, or they're in the process of realising, that you didn't actually betray them. They betrayed themselves. If they're not, that's what they need to be looking at, because I don't think you went out of your way to betray them. I do feel like they think you broke a promise to them. But what then they didn't take into consideration is that their actions forced you to break that promise. You didn't want to break that promise. It was their actions that left you no choice. Okay? But you're now getting the recognition and reward that you truly deserve. Whatever this person was saying behind your back, or this group was saying behind your back, the lies are coming out. Can you see the light behind her? She's kept moving forward, knowing the truth. She's just carried on her journey, knows the truth is out there, knows her truth, knows that what's been said is lies. And it hurts when people lie about you, especially if they're going around trying to turn other people against you. But she's just trusted and had faith that the divine will reveal the truth when the time comes, because I truly believe that there are three things that can not long be hidden, and that's the sun, the moon, and the truth. Okay? The truth is coming out. Things are now being revealed. You trusted and had faith in that the divine would reveal these things in due time. But I feel like this has gone on for like 2 or more years now. And they're finally waking up to the realization that you aren't coming back, which has caused this awakening and caused them to go, actually, I might be the problem. So they're not feeling, I feel like this is now in reverse for them. Like, if this was their story, like, they gossiped, they slandered, and they had negative thoughts about you, and you just picked up on all of that because you're highly intuitive. Some of you might even have telepathy, okay? That may be one of your gifts. So you hear people's conversations, okay? There's something here about hearing people's conversations about you. Spirit revealed things to you, okay? You're highly intuitive. You may be like a high priestess. You may also be spiritual royalty, I'm hearing, okay? But this person was gossiping and slandering behind your back, saying horrible things about you, having someone in their ear, which was then feeding all the intrusive and negative thoughts about you. Like, somebody in their ear, whoever was in their ear is incredibly manipulative, like, and knew what to say to this person to get them riled up against you, okay, and to turn them against you. But then this person was then taking that information and what they were thinking, because they didn't know what was going on, and instead of using their intuition and trusting their intuition, they were just like feeding false narratives, feeding false stories, and then taking it back to other people as if that was actually happening, and it wasn't. So it feels like they turned a whole group against you, and you've just cut these people out. You instead of focusing on them, you changed directory. Directory, is that the right word? Trajectory, I think that's the word I want. And you started focusing on yourself, strengthening your trust and faith in the divine, knowing that all would be revealed in time. And now it's all coming out that they had it wrong the whole time. They're realizing they were wrong about you. Okay, they don't feel so smug now. Okay, they're not laughing behind your back anymore because joke's on them. They don't feel abundant. They don't feel successful. Okay, they are realizing that this cycle with you is coming to an end. For you it's already ended, but they're still trying to hold on to you, and like I said, you may feel them pulling on your energy a little bit, and because they're wanting to communicate with you, but they're still hoping that you will communicate first, because if you communicate first, it still validates that it's almost like they can justify their actions towards you. But no, okay. They'll be lucky if they even get close to you right now. It may be that they not even seeing you. Okay, divine are keeping you hidden from this person. Or this group of people, like they're not seeing you around at all, which is sparking more rumors, but that's a lesson for them. That's a lesson for them. Like they haven't learnt their lesson. Okay, there's also something about them trying to justify why you're not contacting them or you haven't come back, and I think this is where other people have been in the area going, oh, it's okay, it's the honeymoon phase. Once they get bored of each other, they'll come running back. But it's like nobody expected you to stand your ground. And you've stood your ground. You've stood 10 toes down. You've kept your boundaries in place. There was something about someone expecting you. So somebody lied and said that you'd said something or that you did something, and expected you to cave in and just take responsibility for the lie, and you haven't. And now other people are waking up and realizing if they had lied, they'd have caved by now. They're not caving, so it's making people realize that actually you were telling the truth the whole time and that somebody lied on you. So this whole group is kind of like waking up to the realization that they were in the wrong. But there is one person specifically that is in deep regret and really missing you, but they're not going to admit that. Okay, they're not going to admit to you that they miss you, and I really don't feel that you're going to get a genuine apology from them. Okay, not at this time. But yeah, they're not feeling so smug now. They're not feeling, someone acted too quickly. They acted from their emotions and from their ego and not from their intuition, and they're realizing this now. But they're seeing you with this achievement, this completion and reward. I'm seeing the 9 of Pentacles, which is celebration, rewards, like also independence, like you don't need them, because there's an element of these people that like, oh, they need us more than we need them, and they're realizing it's kind of like they're eating humble pie. Okay, they're eating humble pie because actually you don't need them like they thought you did. You're the one celebrating, you're the one achieving, living your life the way you want to live your life. and they're on the outside looking in. For some of them, there's something about you not being seen, or they're talking about the way you look. Okay? I'm being shown someone's tummy, and there's gossip and rumours around a pregnancy. But I'm not feeling like whoever is watching this is actually pregnant. So there's a few different things coming out with this pregnancy. You may have, at times, you may have a bit of a belly bloat that can make you look pregnant. Okay, you might have some sort of medical condition like endometriosis that causes your belly to bloat and then you look pregnant. But someone's really obsessed over you being pregnant or you getting pregnant or something like that. There's gossip and slander around. I think they thought you were pregnant, or somebody said you were pregnant, or you've had a baby, and the people that they've gossiped to about this have, like, you have been seen by somebody, but you've not, they've looked at you and gone, they're not pregnant, there's no baby. If they were pregnant, if they'd had a baby, they would, if they were pregnant at this time, the baby would have been born now, or it would be this age. There's someone trying to work out how old a child would be. Oh my God, this is actually obsessive. Somebody's trying to work out, like, so I can feel someone panicking because they'd convinced you themselves that they were pregnant, that you were pregnant. Someone convinced themselves that you were pregnant, and somebody else has fed into this. This feels like to do with a partner, and that somebody's only with you because you're pregnant, or you've maybe only got married because you wanted to have a baby or something like that, and nobody's seen you with this child that this person's said that you've had, or that you were pregnant. So somebody may have said that they've had a dream about something. I'm seeing someone saying to a person or a group of people that they've had a dream about this baby being handed to them by a passed over family member, and instead of outrightly saying that they think it's you, they've kind of put this out into the group because they think it was you. They think it's you. Okay, what I'm seeing is here that this person saw you. Somebody who claims to have psychic abilities, who may well have had them in the past, but they've been revoked. Okay, told a person or a group of people that they saw you were pregnant, and you're definitely pregnant. So it's like they've been trying to prove this, but it's like they saw you at a particular time and you had a bit of a belly on you. Okay, you may have endometriosis that can make you bloat up and look pregnant. You may have had digestive, you may have IBS that can bloat you up and make you look pregnant. You may have been on your menstrual cycle, on your period, that can make you bloat up and look pregnant. There are various reasons. This person didn't come to you directly and ask you outright, because quite frankly, you don't go up to people and ask if they're pregnant, because that's, could be considered rude. And I'm not suggesting you do that, but they just assumed that you were pregnant. But I don't know where it came from, whether or not somebody else had put in their ear that you were I'm getting something to do with a wedding, some sort of union, okay? And it doesn't have to be a literal wedding. It could just be a union of some sort. But what I'm getting is that basically you were only... I am picking up on wedding. I'm going to go with the wedding for ease of channeling. But if wedding doesn't resonate with you, fit it to what does, okay? But I'm getting that they were convinced that you were getting married, like a shotgun wedding, because you were pregnant. Because apparently you only have shotgun weddings because of a pregnancy, in their eyes. But that's not why you got married. It was literally the next stage. It was just spirit needing to speed up your union and get these things in place. They needed you to be for a bigger purpose, okay? So someone was in someone's ear about you had a shotgun wedding because you were pregnant. And after the wedding, I don't know, maybe a month or two after the wedding, you were seen with a bit of a belly on you. And this person, whoever this person was, because somebody had been in their ear about you being pregnant, this person was like, oh my God, it's true. So then they went back to this group going, oh my God, they're pregnant, this, that, and the other. And it's like they've tried to catch glimpses of you to prove that you are pregnant. But every time they tried to catch a glimpse of you, something got in the way. So they weren't sure. They thought you were trying to hide your pregnancy from them. And other people were like feeding into that. They're hiding a pregnancy. They're hiding a pregnancy. They must be. They must be. They must be. Right? So it riled this person up even more. But then around the time that they have worked out, because I can see them sitting there with a calendar working out when you would be due, when all the months that you could possibly be due, right? And then you were seen around these months with no baby, a flat belly, and not even a hint of pregnancy. So they're confused. And then they've had this sort of dream that someone was handing them to a baby, because that's how they've convinced everyone that they were right. So, but everyone's been trying to say to this person, like trying to logically look at it, like everyone's gone straight in like, yeah, they're hiding a pregnancy, they're hiding a pregnancy, they're hiding a pregnancy. But nobody's actually gone, okay, well, if they're both out at the same time, where's the baby? Who's looking after the baby? Where are they putting this baby? Why are they not telling us? Because all they're focusing on is if they're pregnant, why are they not telling us? If they're having a baby, why are they not telling us? Why are they not involving us? It's all about them. So they've lost sight of the fact that actually you're not even pregnant. So they've been going around gossiping, saying to people that you're pregnant, this, that, and the other. And then I feel like they've had to justify it with, oh, well, the baby must have died, or they must have had a miscarriage, to get out of their lies. Because they've, you know, when someone tells themselves something so much that they start to believe it, that's what this person's been doing. That's what they've been doing. Telling themselves stories about you that other people have fed into, convincing themselves that it must be true. And now, and it's not just this person, this whole group of people, they're like feeding each other. Like they're feeding in, like they're speculating, and someone's going, oh, yeah, but it could be this, or, oh, that makes sense, and, oh, no, I think it's this. And they don't actually know what the truth is. And now they're realising that they might actually be wrong. And I can see somebody looking back and looking at all these people around them going, well, who started it? Where's this come from? Where did you get that information from? Where did you get that information from? And somebody in this group is having to admit, because it's all pointing back to one person, and they're having to admit that the information they've got is just from them gossiping and that they have no fucking clue. They absolutely have no fucking clue what is going on in your life. So they've had to make up stories. This is why you're not being seen, because you're pregnant and you're trying to hide a pregnancy. Oh no, you're ill. You're dying. So then when people are seeing you, they're like, they look absolutely fine. They don't look pregnant to me. So it's confusing people. People are starting to, and at first it was working. People like were believing the lies, even though logically it didn't make sense. And it's not what they were seeing. They continued to believe the lies, but it's now like people are waking up and they're seeing through, like, they're actually looking at the evidence, and the cognitive dissonance is like easing off. Like, this person is absolutely delusional, but it's caused so many problems that didn't need to occur, and I think they're all just realising they were just wrong in what they were doing. Come to you directly, find out what the truth is. 9 of Pentacles. I said I could see the 9 of Pentacles here. Someone's been gossiping about your success and your achievements. So it's changed now. The narrative has changed. They were gossiping about like you being a narcissist and all this and that, and now they've changed their tune. That's what's waking the rest of this group up. That is what's waking the rest of this group up. This person was feeding the narrative of, you're a narcissist, you're this, you're that, you're doing this because of that, this, that and the other. But what they were doing was telling this group what they were doing to you, why they were doing it to you. And now, because it hasn't worked and they're seeing you succeeding and doing really well for themselves, their mask has dropped. I don't think they intentionally, because now this group is questioning things like, why did you do that? Why did you tell us that? If that's not true, why did you? This person said something. They were gossiping with someone, and I'm hearing them say, like, I'm seeing someone within this group looking at them going, yeah, that's not what you told us. You were really saying that this person was really nasty, doing this, that and the other. Now you're changing your tune and saying, oh no, they're not like that. They're really, really nice. So you've got us all riled up to go on the attack against this person. And it could even be to do with this pregnancy, because they haven't actually said that you are being drawn back to this baby being handed to them. They see that as a sign that from spirit, that's one of their siblings or something is going to have a baby. A member of their family is going to have a baby. Okay, for some of you, I've just said sibling. This could be your siblings. Okay. People assumed, because nobody else in this group, everyone else in this group knew that it wasn't them that was pregnant, and they believed this person's intuition to be true, but this person never actually named you, and they're now saying, well, I never said it was them. I just asked whose it was. I saw this baby. I just wanted to know if anyone wanted to claim it, if anyone wanted to come out and admit that they were pregnant. Or somebody's realising that you left the group. There's something about leaving a group chat after this person said that they'd been handed a baby by spirit. Did anyone want to claim it? So they're going back to find out who went too far, what was the final step, what was the final, what was it that finally made you go, that's enough, I don't want to know anymore. Someone's trying to realise what it was, and I think it's back to it all comes back to the gossip. They may also have been gossiping about how you, somebody was trying to take credit for your achievements and saying that you only had what you had because of them. And actually people are realizing that now you've walked away and you're not having contact with this person and you're actually doing really, really well for yourself. You look, since walking away from this person, you look better. And you're physically doing better. You're doing better on every level. You're spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically thriving. You're doing so much better now this person's not in your life, and they're realizing that this person was blocking your blessings. Sitting around in this group and gossiping with this person was blocking your blessings, and they're seeing that now you've walked away from this person. That's what cleared the blocks, or some of the blocks, and allowed your blessings to come in. But this person is saying that, like in the past, this person was saying that they were the reason for your success, that you are where you are because of them, that you have your partner because of them. And it's not, it's because of the work that you've put in. But now they're changing their tune. And I think to a degree, like, it's not so much them changing their tune around that. I think they're saying it and other people are looking at them going, are you for fucking real? Like, they're doing better now they're not around you. So I think this group are like taking note and disconnecting from this person also, because I think they feel that if they disconnect from this person, they're equally going to be more successful. They may well be at some point, but right now I feel like they've got a bit of karma to go through because of the way they came up against you. They have to face their karma, okay? Yes, someone said that you were walking away as a form of control. It wasn't. It was checkmate. It was, I see you were strategic in walking away. You walked away quietly. They thought you were being sneaky and controlling, and actually they were the ones being sneaky and controlling. They're realizing that you checkmated them, that you saw through the plan, you saw what they were trying to do, you refused to play the game, and you just disconnected, and you're better off without them. You weren't coming from a place of trying to control them. You can't control others because that's taken away from people's free will. You're not responsible for other people's actions, but you're responsible for yourself, and that's what you did. You're responsible for yourself and your actions, and you decided to take a step back and heal yourself. Walk away from them, walk away from the gossip, planted the seeds, focused on growing within yourself, planting the seeds. You refocused. I'm hearing refocused. You changed trajectory, and instead of focusing on what they were doing and their gossip, and you put all that time and energy into yourself instead, whilst they're behind you continuing their smear campaign, pretending that you're the bad person, that you're the villain. You were just like, okay, whatever, if that's what, you know, gets you off, I'll be the villain in your story, but I'm going to go over here and I'm going to kind of focus on myself, and I'm going to stop focusing on you, and I'm going to put all that time and energy into myself, improving my life, becoming the best version of me. You may be helping others. It may be something that you like, focusing on your purpose and using your experiences to help others. Yeah, doing the work. You've done the work. This cycle is completed. You have closed this cycle out. It was the lesson for you was about really putting your trust and faith in the divine, like fully waking up to who you truly are, and now you're unfuckable with, okay? There is nothing. They tried to use your weaknesses against you, but your weaknesses are what will make you strong. You've made peace with who you are. You've made peace with your past, and you are on your dharma path. These people are just beginning. whether they're aware of it or not, they're just beginning their karmic phase, okay? Now, karma doesn't have to be a bad thing, okay? Karma is here to teach us, but these people are not going to see it that way at this moment in time. They're not realizing that your glow up and you doing really well is actually part of their karma, because they wanted to prevent this. They tried to delay it. They went out of their way to cause blocks and delays and stop you from receiving your divine inheritance, okay? And some of them have literally had their spiritual abilities revoked. We have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, somebody is like, I can hear, like, I'm hearing cogs are turning, and I'm seeing like the cogs in a clock turning. Somebody's finally putting the pieces of the puzzle together and realizing 2 and 2 doesn't make 10, and realizing something doesn't add up. They're finally realizing that they were wrong. Some sort of truth, they're coming, you may have spoken some sort of truth, you may have said something that these people are realizing. You know, like when you give someone some information, and they hear it, but the penny hasn't dropped. The penny is dropping, okay? You can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink, and that's how you took the attitude with these people, this person and this group of people. You can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink. You have to take a step back in order to let them process that information and let the penny drop, as and when it's time for that to happen. But they are slowly waking up to the realization that they were wrong. They were wrong about you. They underestimated you. 9 of Cups. Yeah. It's because you're so successful, you're glowing, you're happy. Like the honeymoon, like I said, the honeymoon phase has ended and you haven't gone back. And that is what's made them, because it may be that someone was in their ear saying to them, like, someone may have tried to be nice to them as well. There's not just negative people around them, like feeding into that. There is someone else around them that was trying to say to them nicely, like, let them have their time together, let them be together, and again, this may not be you and another person. This could just be you, like a romantic person. This could be you with another friend, or it could be you just enjoying your own time. But somebody's saying to them, like, really nicely, like, just give them space, give them time, let them do what they need to do, and they'll come back, you know, when they're ready. Don't push them. Trying to give this person hope, because they truly believed that things would all work out for the best, and they have, just not in the way they expected it to, okay? So somebody might have been trying to, like, instead of saying to this person, no, you really fucked up and you need to go fix it, they didn't tell this person. Either way, no one was telling this person what they needed to hear. They were literally people pleasing and telling this person what this person wanted to hear, that they had done nothing wrong, they weren't in the wrong. And I think there is somebody outside of this group of people that turned on you that is realizing that they may have sugarcoated what they were saying to this person, and that maybe they needed to have been more honest with them, and that their actions, you know, in doing that may have prevented this separation. All right. Somebody is realizing that you tried to warn them about something, or you warned them of an outcome, and they thought it was coming from a place of control, and they were laughing at you like, oh, that's not going to happen, that's not going to happen. And it's actually happened, and they're now realizing that because it's happened, they're realizing that you were warning them so that they could prevent it from happening and that things could be worked through, and they're kicking themselves for not heeding the warning. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you're successful, you're abundant, and the Queen of Pentacles, you know, stability could be is as a queen, as a wife. So again, this could be to do with a wife. Somebody's really burdened by your happiness and success. Okay, they're in deep regret. It's really, it is waking them up. That is what's waking them up. To the fact that they've gone about things in the wrong way, and that there was another way. Because I feel like you are somebody who is very good at like pattern recognition and things, and you may also be a seer, and you can see the future. Okay, spirit will show you the future, and right now I'm seeing like 2 or 3 different pathways. So I feel like you are somebody who can see how something's going to play out, and when you warn people about things, that's you trying to fix it before it happens, because it doesn't need to go down that path, it can go another way. But people haven't been taking you seriously. But I feel like there are people now that are waking up and regretting not taking you seriously, and they're now seeing a different path because you've continued to go on, like, focus on yourself, staying true to who you are, your truth and integrity. And just by doing that, you've shown these people that they were wrong about you, and now they're realizing they didn't have to attack, that they could have just come to you. Ace of Pentacles. I had a funny feeling that was going to come out. They're realizing that you were a gift, that you were sent to them as a gift to help them plant the seeds for their abundance, and help them to unlock and clear the path of abundance within their own lives. And they're now realizing that they've shit out on that. Abundance isn't just financially, okay, people, it's on all levels. But these people are so focused on the 3D that they are very money focused, and that's why they attacked you, because they didn't look at it from a higher perspective. They're so focused on their physical world, but their physical world is a reflection of what's going on the inside of them, okay? And if you're not connected, if you're not abundant on the inside, your outer world is not going to reflect that abundance to you. If you don't feel at peace on the inside, you're not, your outer world isn't going to be at peace, okay? I feel like you are in a state of alignment. Like, it's very, your inner world is quite peaceful, and you are very, very good, and you're very quick at cutting out what isn't causing it, which isn't what isn't bringing you peace, to stay in alignment. Somebody tried to throw you off your path and bring you out of that, and they may have succeeded for a little bit, okay, because maybe you had to go back and learn some lessons, and that's okay. But you've managed to pull yourself out of that and not let it drown you, okay? These people somebody wanted to drown you because they thought if they could bring you down, that you'd be more easily controlled, and it didn't work. Yeah, you are very much somebody who is equally light and dark, and you know how to balance that out. You know when you need to step into your shadow, and you know when to step into the light, and you know how to keep them balanced and grounded, okay? Temperance, very peaceful, very healing. Something to do with patience as well. Somebody's patience is running out because you haven't come back. Somebody else is getting impatient as well with someone else in this group. Somebody, I keep coming back to this group. There is a group of people, and somebody within this group is getting really impatient with somebody else. It's like they're biting their tongue, but it's only a matter of time before they snap at this person, because I feel like from their point of view, I can hear them saying to this other person, if you'd have just sorted it out from the beginning, if you'd have just gone and done X, Y, Z, this wouldn't be happening, and we could all be abundant now. We could all be benefiting from this. So they're not looking at, still not looking at it. No one is looking at it from a how it made you feel point of view. It's all about what they could be getting from you if they'd made different choices. And that is exactly why Spirit are not going to allow these people back in, because they haven't learned this. Because if they come back in and you allow this, and it's your free will choice, but if you allow them back in at this, based on where they are currently at, it's going to bring you down. The same thing's going to happen. They're going to take you for granted. They're going to continue to take you for granted. They have not done the work necessary to, you need to move forward. Take the past and move forward. Okay, they haven't done. These cards are very similar as well. You've dragged yourself out of this. Why would you want to go back? It's your free will choice, absolutely up to you. But my advice and what Spirit are telling me is, I'm just hearing no from Spirit. Okay, and my intuition is just no, because these people aren't looking at fixing things with you because they're actually sorry for what they did to you. They want to fix things with you because they want to benefit from you. They're not missing you, they're missing out on the benefits. They're missing out on what you brought to the table. And you're just going to end up, you go back in, you're going to end up walking away again, because you're going to go through a similar thing. Okay? And you've done the work, you've been through so much. Do you want to have to go through that again? Do you want to repeat this cycle? I feel it's already closed out for you. I don't think you will go back. Maybe somebody's wondering whether or not you will come back, and that's what I'm picking up on, because I genuinely don't think you're gonna want to. But somebody's coming towards you to try and make things right. I'm going to close this reading out with some affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements about how you want to be, how you want your life to be, and used on a regular basis, they can really help to maintain a positive mindset, which is going to help you manifest the things that you desire. So let's have some affirmations, please, Spirit. Okay, we've got this one. I accept and create more flow and pleasure in my life. Every day I focus on what is important. Yeah, and that's what Spirit is saying to you. Like, what is important to you? What is important to you? Because that's what you need to be focusing on right now. You need to continue to focus on that. I'm just going to get one more. There we go. Oh, two more. I have a balanced relationship with time. I use time well. Yeah, where are you? That's what you've done. You've used your time wisely to focus on yourself. These people haven't. I know myself deeply and I find myself worthy. Absolutely. You walked away from this situation because of your self-worth, and that you deserve better. Do you want to go back and have to go through all that again? This is, for me, this cycle has closed out, but I feel like there's almost an element of a test here for you to see, so this person may come back in as a temptation, but it's like a test for you. When a cycle closes out, we are kind of tested to see whether or not we're going to completely close that cycle, or whether we're going to go back and redo the cycle because we haven't learned our lessons. Somebody is coming in to test you on your self-worth and your self-respect. You walked away from them from a place of self-love and self-respect. Have you learnt the lessons? Or are you going to be tempted by this person? Someone's coming in as a temptation, okay, to try and pull you back in. And Spirit want you you're going to know whether someone's intentions towards you are pure or not. Your discernment is on point. Spirit want you to ask yourself in that moment. Don't react. They want you to take a moment and ask yourself what is important to you. Because yes, you're a good person. you're there for others, but you have to be there for yourself first and pour from your cup. And this is the divine saying to you, okay, you've told us that you think you're worth it. You think, I'll tell you why else this person's coming back in, because something is about to manifest for you, okay? And this person is picking up on it. And they know something's coming and they want in. They want to benefit from it. But in that moment when they come to you, and they might not come physically, it might just be energetically, and they feel their pull. But every time you feel this person or someone coming towards you from your past, this is a past person, every time you feel someone from your past coming in, whether it be energetically or whether it be physically, stop and ask yourself before you react, before you respond as to whether or not you're going to let them in. Ask yourself, every day I focus on what is important to you in that moment. Is it reconnecting with that person and making things right with them? You can forgive someone. I'm hearing apology accepted, access denied, because this person's apology is empty. But you will know that spirit will give you a sign, and it's going to be different for everyone. I'm seeing a clock. You may be shown some sort of time. So it might be a specific number that you resonate with, like an angel number or repeating number that you resonate with, that you might see either just before or at the time that person comes in. It may also be a clock, okay, because I'm seeing a clock on a wall. I'm also seeing spirals, because it's a symbolic of, do you want to go back around again? Do you want to spiral back down and have to come back out, or are you done people pleasing? Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I really do hope that this helped. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Namaste.